Hey everyone, this is Vicki from Messy Table Studio, here with a messy project. Imagine that. Recently I have started to get back into Artomat, making things for Artomat, which earn me income. And the reason I've been doing that is I have so many scraps and so much stuff that I need to deplete my stock, and I can still make a couple dollars off of it. So I have been working since yesterday on using up my scraps. Now my scraps I divide into color categories. I've already finished 10 pinks, 10 blues, 10 greens. Let me put these on the floor. And whoop, I still need to make 10 purple, and I'm going to do a combination of red, yellow, orange from the scraps here. Let me show you what I've done. Where's every? Okay, first what I do when I make the books. Now these are with, I think this is the light chipboard off of Amazon, although I could have sworn I said medium, but it feels very thin, even thinner than cereal boxes. So each one has two pieces, the front and the back, and I just stack them up so I keep the twos together, you know, opposite direction sort of thing. Then I pre-cut the, this is, what is this? I don't have it over here. I think this is Canson watercolor paper. So this is going to be the front decoration of the book. I have a plan. So I cut 50 of these already, and they're in piles of 10 according to the colors. I'll show you in a second. Then I cut, what else did I cut? I have not decided what kind of paper to put inside the little scrappy book, but I'm working on it. So here is my giddy up. Here are my 10 sets of scrappy books. So I just took random pink scraps where the predominant color was pink and did this on the outside and then this on the inside. That's same paper. And if I could get the front and the back to match, whatever. I didn't really care. I just want to use up scraps. So I have 10 sets of fronts and backs here. And then I just rubber banded them together in a haphazard way. And I stacked the 50 watercolors, so I know I'm keeping to the pink theme with this group. Yesterday I did the pink and the green and half of the blue. Here is some of the green. They're very light. And then I had some of these for my stamps when I cut other books and cut the bottom off of something. Then I use those bottom papers to do this. That's why there's a strip here and a strip there, because I took strips and used those to make the books, the outside and on the inside too. So there are another 10 sets of fronts and backs. Here's the watercolor paper that goes with them. And I just finished 10 of the blue. Here's the watercolor paper. These, I hope, are not sticking together. So I just took leftover scrappy paper that I showed you that was in the envelopes from projects I have done in the past. Jelly prints mostly. Jelly prints, and there are a few stencils. And then there's like, you know, wild and crazy drawing stuff. That kind of thing. So I'm going to use the Coptic stitch on these. And the reason I like using Coptic stitch is because people overfill stuff and things get alligator mouth. And if I use Coptic stitch and do it rather loosely, whenever they glue stuff in or put stuff extra in these little books, it has expansion room. So the next color I'm going to work on is purple. And how I do this is I kind of take out my, now I don't like using cardstock because I hate bending it over. So I take little pieces like this. Oh, there's one that's better. And then I have little, you know, there are a lot of strips or things that had holes punched in them. But, you know, I really am using scraps. This is all scrap paper cut off of stuff that made other books where the theme was purple. Now some of it I can use because it's wide enough, and other stuff I can't because it's too skinny. Or like this one. I'll get one, maybe two skinny pieces off of this if I'm lucky. But I'd like to use it up. This is deli paper. Some of it's deli paper, some of it's computer paper, some of it is book text, like this one. I don't know what I think when I did this, but I will cut this stuff off because I don't want that on there. And I'll use this part for half of a front and half of a back. So I want to use up as much of this stuff as I can. I had, surprisingly enough, I whittled down the other colors to a dull roar, as they say. See, I'll get two or three out of this one, and I just want to keep going. There's like a ton of paper in here. Look at this one. There's another good one, and that feels like rice paper. Here's another one. That is not my art. That is scrapbook paper. Won't use that. Stuff like this. And there's tons of deli paper that I've used for background papers. Some of them have stencils. Some of them were done with glue patterns. Here's stuff that I used on something else to do belly bands for things. So it just depends on what I have as to what I'll use. All right, so I'm going to do this while I'm watching the YouTube, and I will take you through the process as I do it. And I'll explain to you about a new toy I got that will really help to speed this up. Okay, we're going to get started. I'm going to come to the part where I'm going to explain about my new toy. I got this gifted to me. This is a glue gun, but it's not a hot glue gun. It's for wet PVA. And it comes with a bottle like this that has the very small pin type dispenser. And then it's got the other one, it's got the pin that goes inside it so it doesn't clog up. So you put this on when you're not using it. Then this is loaded into the gun, which is just, a vessel. You put it in, pops in, and there's a trigger. So it shoots out glue. While you're gluing, what you do is you put it inside here, and there's a rubber stop inside there. You see it? It's pink. And it keeps it from getting dried out while you're in continuous use. And when you're not, you just put this back on, and then you can lay this down anywhere. Thank you. Oh, look, you can put, that's where you put the, okay. Well, I was trying to figure out where you put the lid. There you go. Alrighty, so this is what I'm going to be using while I glue. I'm going to be cutting paper, and I guess I need to push this up further so you guys can see. I have a lot of stuff sitting behind where you can't see it. Let me move this up further. Oh my goodness, everything is in the way. Okay, so as soon as I get this situation under control, there we go. Oh my, ugh. You see all the scraps underneath it. Okay, now we're resituated. I'm going to put you on fast forward while I watch the news and maybe a movie. I think I started one and put it on pause and forgot to go back and watch the rest of it. So that will be my day today, is doing the purples and doing the red, yellow, oranges. And I may do more than 10 of those because I have leftovers sometimes because I get carried away and lose count. So I take all the combination of all those little leftovers and make 50 of them. And then I have a box that's called potluck. And that's, you do not know what you're getting inside the box. The other stuff, I put a picture on the box. But the potluck stuff just has a picture of a pot with a spoon in it, and you're at the mercy of potluck. So you don't have any idea what you're getting. All right, now I'm going to go to work. Okay, I have finished a whole bunch of stuff. 60 little books, I think, 60 or 61, somewhere in there. All right, so the first colors that I started with were was pink. So I pieced these guys together, but I didn't make the front and the back look the same. I'll decide which way I want it to go whenever it comes time to punch stuff. So here they are, all 10 of them. Oh, I want to make sure they're not stuck together. I separated them yesterday just to be sure a couple of times while they were drying. Can you see? There you go. You can see all of them this way. Some of them, the fronts and the back look really close. Like this one, I did them the same, the front and the back. Not all of them look like that. Not all of them are done like that. So this is different than this, the front and the back. Anyway, so there's the 10 pink ones. And then I have kind of the same, the same rhythm with the green ones. Is I just did scraps. I mean, I pieced together some scraps. Others went well. The stuff I'm picking up off the top is the watercolor paper that's going on the front of every book. Where's the other one? Oh, I turned this one inside out. All right, so here is that one. This one. This one's inside out. So all of this is scraps. I tried to use as much as I could to, you know, not have as many. This one's backwards. That's the inside. This is the outside, so that's going to basically look the same. Some of them I did the same. The front and the back. After I did the pink ones, I started making them look the same because I was able to get enough paper out of my stuff. Lord knows I have enough of it. And I was able to make them match, or make them as close to matching as I possibly could. All right, there's the green. And let's do the blue. The watercolor paper off. Here are the blue ones. Some of this stuff is stenciled, and some of it is dyed paper. Some of it is doodled paper. You know, I had an assortment of stuff, so I tried to make every book look different than the other as much as I possibly could. So this paper is the same piece of paper. Yeah, this is the same piece of paper. This is not. But I use the same piece here, and then the inside is the same piece, a dyed piece. So when I made the blue ones, I tried to use as much blue as I could. This one's got a lot of pink and purple in it, but I still think it looks pretty good. And this was jelly pickup paper from a jelly print. So that's basically what it consists of. All the little books. That's the inside, this is the outside. Whoops. And this one looks kind of like one of the others, but not exactly. Let's see, was it this one? Nope. We're having a windy day, so I hear stuff blowing off the plant stand behind me and from the window. See, this is not exactly the same. This paper is not the same as what's on this side, but I managed to get enough of the polka dot paper that it's the same on the inside. So that's these guys. Then I have purple, and I did not have enough of yellow, orange, and red, so that is kind of a mixed bag. Let me put these down here because I keep reaching up here to get everything and it's falling over. So the fifth color is a combination of 3 colors. Right, this is the purpley one. doodles and jelly prints and dyed paper. They all look kind of the same. Here's more of that purple paper. I had just enough to do, I think it's three books. This one is nothing like this other one. I just didn't have enough of this, but I tried to make it kind of the same, so I used the same piece of paper on this side as I used on this side, and the inside is just another dyed piece of paper. And this is polka dots, jelly print, dyed paper. This is a stamp that I carved one Carved December and did a jelly print with it. The same on this one too. This is the same stamp as what's on this one. So that's it. That's the purples. And then I'll do the one where it's a mixture of 3 colors. I had a good time doing those, but I really wish that I had more of the individual colors instead of having to mix them together, although it's not a big deal. Nobody cares, I guess, except for me. All right, that's the inside. That's a jelly print, and they both have a little of the jelly print on the outside with coffee dyed paper. Stencil, coffee dyed paper, and yellow dyed paper. This is a copy of a print that I drew that I scanned and saved. More dyed paper and more, I think this is dyed paper also. Some of it's a mixture of coffee and some of it's a mixture of dye. This is a print that I did, a doodle print that I did. I only had a limited amount of it, so I made this a little bit skinnier than some of the others. This is yellow dyed paper, and then that is a stencil. And the stars here are larger, these are smaller, but that's because they were part of a set where it was graduating stars. I had a strip, so I took it and cut it in half and put half here and half there. This is also another doodle paper that I made and I photocopied. I think that's coffee paper, I can't remember. And I didn't have a lot of it, it was a small strip, so I did a very small amount there. Whoops. Stencils, drawed and photocopied, and this is dyed, coffee dyed paper with a little bit of red in it. This is a stencil and jelly print along with a hand carved stamp. This is also a stencil and 2 different kinds of paper on the front that are both jelly prints, and then this is orange dyed paper. So that's those, and now what is left is the black and white. So after I get done with this, I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm going to start painting the front of the stuff I want on these. So let me start with these guys here. So these are all either photocopied. I think most of the black and white is all photocopies, and they were scrap paper for photocopies that I'd used in other projects. This is a line drawing, a doodle. So I try to use as much of my own art as I possibly could. This is just paper where I flung extra paint on it. It looks cool on the inside. And here's one where I did it on the outside, the front and the back, and then put the other print inside. And this was just paper that I tried some kind of a, I don't know what I was doing. It was something with black paint and just did something all over the paper and it dried, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Brush marks, doodles, and splatter paper. More splatter paper, pen marks, and doodles. I'm not sure I'm going to put these together like that because when I make my doodles, when I made these, I forgot I should have turned it the opposite direction. So I may have to do it like this and like that. I was watching TV while I was doing this, so I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention. All right, let's see. I got 2 more over here that are still drying. That's the inside, my doodles. Again, my doodles in some paint strokes, just plain paint strokes, that's all it is. And then this is the last one. So what I'm thinking about doing is taking, I don't want to do my potluck stuff with all black and white or all one solid color. So I'm thinking about doing is setting these out and taking 2 off the top of each color section and then putting black and whites in there and then having some color for the potluck box. All right, so that's the end of that. So what I'm left with is a whole bunch of stacks of colored books with paper that's still, watercolor paper I still need to do for the design of the front of the book. Here's the pink and the pink paper. And there's the blue paper. Purple, where's purple paper? Oh, I don't have enough cut because I didn't cut any for the black and white, so this technically is the purple paper. We'll put this on top here. There we go. All right, so that's it for the Artemat mini book. This is going to be called, I think, a mini scrap sketchbook, but I'm not sure. So I'm still playing around with the name. But what I really want to do is just get these sewn and get them done, and then I'll think about a name later. So after this, I'm going to paint all these and then glue them onto the front of the books. Then I have to cut the paper for the inside and then poke the holes for everything and then sew it. So that's it. That's an Artemat thing. I don't know if I'm going to do a part 2 or part 3. It's kind of boring sewing 50, 60 books with the same stitch over and over. Painting the leaves, I might do a video on that. I don't know. Alrighty, so this is my Tuesday video. Fresh off the press. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye. Alright, I wasn't going to show all these, but I decided to go ahead and do it because y'all have seen the whole project from beginning to end anyway. So these are the watercolor leaves and plant matter that I put on every book, and I tried to make them as different from one book to the next as possible. I didn't want anyone to feel like I cookie cut all of these, so each of these is painted individual, and I cut them out while I was watching TV this afternoon. Oh, I have 11 of these, I guess. That's great. So that's the black ones, black and whites. Oops, I don't want to lose the tops and bottoms and get them messed up here. They're not in any particular order. I just want to keep the top and the bottom together because they fit. All right, that's those. Get that out of the way. Got a landslide over there to the side. Here are the blues. And I'm filming this in the evening, so the light in here is not the greatest. Like I said, I tried to make every one different, so each book is different from every other one that's a blue. I try not to do too many of them exactly the same. I don't think they are the same, but we'll see. Oh, I'm short one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's interesting. Okay, so I have 9 blue ones. Here are the green. Some of these are kind of close the way they look, but the inside is different. The shape of the leaves are all basically the same thing. They were a lot of fun, and it was fun to try to come up with something different for every single one of these guys. And the pink. Some of these were a little more difficult than others, trying to come up with something where the watercolor piece I put on the front was meant to accentuate the print on it. And some of them didn't work out so well, as far as I was concerned. Other people may disagree, but some of them I didn't really, I'm not sure about the way I did them, if they're okay or not. I just was trying to make them different. These guys, these three right here, were ones that I tried rock salt with. And once I saw how big the splotches were and how long it took me to scrape the rock salt off, I decided I'm not doing that again. I'll do it for me, but I'm not making 50 of these while I have to scrape off the rock salt. This one was another one. These two had rock salt. Wait, actually, one, two. These three and these three had rock salt. The first time I did the salt, I did table salt, and the splotches that it left from the salt absorbing the paint was not what I had hoped for. I guess I'll have to fix this out later. So I was unimpressed with my technique. Let's put it that way. Wasn't what I'd hoped for. Okay, I got to be a little more careful so I don't have to rearrange these again. I'm trying to keep, like I said, keep the tops and the bottoms together. Now, some of these do look a lot alike. Like this one has pen work in it, where this one's just dots. This one I did the little circular things there. I tried to do everyone individually, because I want people to feel like when they get their book that it's not like someone else's. All right, here we are with the ones I had talked about earlier that are the pink, red, and yellow kind of clumped together. There's this one. And this is the part that I added on that mimics this right here. And I tried to make these mimic the papers on the sides. Some of them I could, some of them I could not. All right, this one is here. This one has got to be the craziest one. This one is the simplest one of all of it. Just a little line and done. This one I tried to mimic the general composition of the paper on the side. There you go. So that is 59, or no, that's 60, because I had 11 of the black and white, and I'm short one blue, and then the rest are in 10s. So that is my Artemat mini scrap sketchbooks. Tomorrow I'm going to measure the insides here and start doing sample cuts for the signatures, and I have to figure out how much paper to put in them to make them worth the money people are spending on getting them out of the machines. So this is my Artemat project for this time, and I hope that when people get them, they enjoy them and they know that these were made with love and a lot of TV. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.